Next, let's take a look at the plot commentary of episode 87 of Immortal Inverse first. The monster suddenly pounced on Wang Lin, but he easily evaded him. It was confirmed that this beast was not a unicorn, but one of the souls in the soul streamer of the soul refining sect, and its strength was about in the early stage of the transformation of gods. Wang Lin had no intention of conquering, so he chose to practice cross-legged, thinking about the association between the soul streamer and the ancient soul mirror. Time passed quietly, and the outside of the cave was completely new. Su Yun and Lu Wei carefully arranged it, profiting a lot from promoting Wang Lin's name. However, Su Yun was worried that this move would cause trouble. One day, Guo Dongjian, a monk in the early Yuanying period, visited and claimed to be looking for Wang Lin to catch up. Su Yun and Lu Wei lied about being concubines, but were rebuked and tempted. Guo Dongjian cast a spell to transform the Qinglong into an attack on the cave palace, but was forbidden to rebound. Wang Lin appeared, and the black air behind him condensed into a huge skull, shocking the audience that he faced Guo Dongjian directly and asked to hand over the soul streamer. Not to be outdone, Guo Dongjian sacrificed his soul and summoned many soul shadows, even the two-legged soul that exuded the aura of Yuanying. Wang Lin cast a soul spin and swallowed most of his soul in an instant. Guo Dongjian broke free and fled, but was still forcibly captured by Wang Lin. Wang Lin questioned the source of Yuanying's soul, and Guo Dongjian reluctantly told him that the soul was exchanged for 900 soul streamers from Su Jin's family. Guo Dongjian was amazed and called Wang Lin the third person in the soul refining peak to become a soul profound in March. Wang Lin used the spiritual pulse pressure to practice to break through the realm of Yuanying, and only after the Yuan god recovered, he could return to the god of transformation. There are only 3 pieces of the seal left, and Sun Tai's seal is on the verge of collapse, but the biggest gain is the discovery that the soul refining peak is shrouded in invisible power, causing the spirit to fight to seize it. Through the study of Yujian, Wang Lin mastered the 3 major methods of soul refining. Soul refining and soul locking, soul refining seal, and dead soul controlling the living soul. The soul locking has yet to be understood. Soul streamers are divided into 10, 100, 1,000 and 10,000 soul streamers according to the number. The 1,000 soul streamers need the support of the main soul, and the power is determined by the strength of the main soul. Wang Lin speculated that the unicorn-like monster deep in the spiritual veins was the main soul of the golden soul streamer. Within 3 months, he competed for souls many times, and obtained 90% of them flexibly, including a soul in the early stage of Yuanying, forming a new peak of soul refining of the main soul. Souls in the Yuanying period were scarce, with only 2 or 3 a year. In the past, it was found that disciples of Yuanying souls were scrambling to snatch them first. Wang Lin was determined to study the soul-drawing Jade Jane, and mastered the soul mysterious supernatural powers, which can absorb souls on a large scale. With a wave of his right hand, the soul mystery dissipated, the soul streamer appeared, and under a dance, a large number of souls were inhaled. Guo Dongjian looked ugly and sighed bitterly. The soul streamers he had collected for several years were taken away, and he secretly sighed that the rules of the soul refining sect were cruel. He hugged Wang Lin with his fist and left sadly. Wang Lin integrated the soul of Yuanying into the soul streamer, fought with the original main soul, and the winner became the new main soul. This time, Su Yun and Lu Wei asked to stay, but they were indifferently rejected. Just when the 2 of them were expelled, Lu Mei floated in. She smiled and revealed that Wang Lin's great tribulation was approaching, and persuaded him to leave. Suzaku Xingliamai admitted that Master Suzaku was Suzaku's son, and mentioned that Hongdi had been killed by his elder brother. Wang Lin realized that the battle between himself and the red butterfly was just a beast in the eyes of others. Lu Mei sighed deeply and said that Wang Lin's mission was to make Taoism take a picture, and Qianwen's ruthless Tao made him appear sentimental, but his heart was actually ruthless. When Lu Mei left, Wang Lin's thoughts were complicated. He noticed that although Lu Mei showed affection, she concealed her true ruthlessness. Afterwards, he moved Su Yun and Lu Wei, who were unconscious, 100 feet away, and noticed that the characteristics of the 2 suddenly opened up, and looked at Lu Mei with a sneer. Understanding the source of the strange feeling, Lu Mei's emotional performance is only to cover up the ruthless Wei. Watching Lu Mei disappear, Wang Lin's eyes were cold. He warned himself that Lu Mei's cultivation base was unfathomable, otherwise he would not be able to become Suzaku's apprentice. It was inexplicable to approach the purpose. In order to take advantage of Wang Lin's weakness, he was even more alert. After a little contemplation, Wang Lin returned to the cave mansion and focused on regaining his vitality. The demand for spiritual power was even higher. With a flash of his figure, he came to the depths of the spiritual veins of the soul-refining peak, sat cross-legged, felt the spiritual pressure gathering, closed his eyes and concentrated, and accelerated his recovery. As time passed, Su Yun and Lu Wei woke up and found that they had not been expelled, so they set up a small cave to practice. One day, Wang Lin tried his best to restore his vitality, but suddenly opened his eyes and felt that his vitality had been significantly improved, and there were only 2 pieces of the seal left. The divine consciousness swept towards the golden soul streamer 300 feet away, and found that the phantom appeared, causing the unicorn to roar. It was Wu Daoqi, the elder of soul refining peak, who tried to refine the soul streamer, but was suppressed. That Wu Daoqi sacrificed 10,000 soul streamers and fought fiercely with monsters. That he used blood sacrifice to enhance his soul power, but the monster summoned the second unicorn with the golden soul streamer, causing him to get into trouble. Although the 2 monsters were trapped with the locked god streamer, the golden soul streamer once again appeared black, and the third unicorn appeared. When Wu Dao started and was about to give up, a powerful divine consciousness came, and Wang Lin appeared to easily suppress the 3-headed unicorn. The monster used the black aura to condense the spear to defeat it. After the unicorn collapsed, a stronger golden aura emerged from the golden soul streamer, and all souls merged into it and condensed into an entity that exudes golden light. Kiran Wu Dao was seriously injured and unconscious from the shock. Wang Lin took away the soul streamer and the locked god streamer, and stared at the golden Kiran. This is the true main soul of the golden soul streamer. The previous monsters were just possessed souls. The golden unicorn was shining with golden light all over, and its momentum was terrifying. It confronted Wang Lin in the depths of the soul-refining peak. The atmosphere was extremely tense and the sword was rattling. In the tomb of the emperor deep in the soul-refining peak, he encountered the remnant soul of a golden unicorn. Its shape resembled the unicorn of Ling Tianhou in the immortal realm, only the color was different. However, the aura was far less powerful than Ling Tianhou's unicorn, and Wang Ling recognized it as the remnant soul of the unicorn at a glance. Although the remnant soul is not as powerful as the living thing, it inherits the memory of inheritance and can cast spells. The unicorn beast took the lead in launching an attack, condensing the golden aura and smashing into Wang Lin. Wang Lin grabbed it through the air and summoned a black spear to attack. After the collision between the 2 sides, the photosphere turned into a golden light and dissipated. Wang Lin observed and found that although this remnant soul is weaker than a living thing, it is still dangerous due to the existence of inherited memories. Then he took out 2 bells and tried to seal the unicorn. The unicorn beast suddenly stepped on the ground, shattering the surrounding spiritual veins, and the bell offensive was forced to be delayed. Wang Lin snorted coldly, and the spear in his hand turned into a black light and pierced the remnant soul of the unicorn, releasing a large number of souls. However, these souls were sucked back into the body by Kiran, and the 2 sides fell into a battle for souls. Wang Lin quickly arranged the soul spin, and at the same time sealed the unicorn clone with a restraining seal, and finally successfully incorporated it into the bell. Although the unicorn beast was suppressed, it still released a large number of souls. Wang Lin used the soul spin to absorb part of the souls, gradually weakening the power of the unicorn. Holding a strong sail in his hand, he summoned countless black spears to stab the Kiran. Although the Kiran resisted with a golden light group, he was still pierced by some spears, and his soul continued to dissipate. The weakness of the unicorn beast attracted Wang Lin's chariot soul beast. Although the soul beast was in poor condition, he saw the remnant soul of the unicorn showing greed and took the initiative to attack. The 2 collided fiercely. The unicorn was knocked into the air, and a large number of souls dissipated again and were absorbed by the soul Xian. The phantom of the unicorn became dimmer and dimmer, revealing the potential for defeat. When the unicorn was repelled, Wang Ling found a golden soul streamer. He quickly stepped forward to remove the soul streamer and completely controlled it with the sacrifice of divine essence and blood. This time, the remnant soul of the unicorn tried to counterattack, but was forced to retreat by the soul beast, and was finally conquered by Wang Ling with the soul streamer. The main soul of the unicorn turned into golden light and flew into the soul streamer, completely sealed, however. The soul beast was furious because the unicorn was poisoned, and roared at Wang Lin. Wang Lin calmly responded, sealed the soul beast again with the iron chain on the chariot, put it in the exorcism circle, and put it in the storage bag after it was completely sealed. After completing all this, Wang Lin appeared at the top of Soul Refining. This time, the black air over the mountain peak soared into the sky, causing the shock of the disciples of the Soul Refining sect. Wang Lin noticed abnormalities, especially the 2 blood rings behind the 9 golden rings. Vaguely, he felt the vicissitudes of life, and kind eyes flashed from the blood ring that he murmured in a low voice, "Interesting." Then he fell into contemplation. Wang Lin was in the Soul Refining sect, and after a moment of deep thought, his eyes were firm that he decided not to miss the Soul Refining sect anymore, but to seek an opportunity to restore the spirit. His gaze was locked on the wind, and his figure turned into a streamer and flew away. In a certain corner of Soul Refining Peak, a woman watched Wang Lin's departure and sighed to herself, "The recovery is so fast, but I can't see through his deeds. Brother Wang, what is your Taoist heart?" Wang Lin came down to draw the wind, swept his mind, and found a cave. Eugene in the cave opened his eyes and looked at Wang Lin, who suddenly appeared, with an uneasy expression on his face. Wang Lin calmly said, "Do you have the courage to take Eugene?" Although Su Jin didn't know Wang Lin, he judged his soul refining identity from his clothes. He agreed to exchange Eugene, but on the condition that Wang Lin needed to provide 300 souls. Wang Lin disdained to snatch it directly, took out the 1,000 soul streamers, shook out 300 souls, refined them into black beads, and threw them to Su Jin. Eugene readily handed over the fuchsia jade and asked, "What is the name of the elder brother?" Wang Lin took Eugene, scanned his consciousness, and confirmed that it recorded the essence of the soul-pumping technique. The technique of soul drawing includes the 3 great powers of calming the mind, attracting the soul, and the 4 powers. Among them, the 4 powers are the most vicious. They have even been improved by disciples who have betrayed the sect, and have become the green pill that deters one side. Eugene reminded Wang Lin that the lock god seals the jade chain without the lock god, because it is the exclusive property of the ancestor of the god of transformation. Wang Lin nodded and left, personally verifying Su Jin's statement. After exploring the depths of the spiritual veins of the 2 peaks, he only retrieved a less powerful soul streamer at Swashenfeng. After completing these, Wang Lin looked at the 9 golden rings and 2 blood rings above the 3 peaks, and his heart was firm. He decided to challenge the spirit refining sect eagle to become an old monster and use its coercion as an opportunity to restore his vitality. Holding 100,000 golden soul streamers and 999 groups of forbidden streamers, he rushed straight to the 9 golden rings. The golden soul streamer was amazingly powerful, and the golden unicorn roared out, leading countless souls to rush to the golden ring. After the loud noise, the 9 golden rings turned into 9 god-transforming monks. The 9 were shocked by the power of the golden unicorn, and Wang Lin was already standing on the top of the unicorn, domineering. That a woman in the early stage of transforming into a god wanted to make a move, but was shocked back by Wang Lin's roar. Her face paled that he suppressed his anger and sneered silently. Wang Lin said calmly, "You wait for the 9 of you to give way." An old man in a green robe snorted coldly, casting an iron chain spell to attack Wang Lin. Wang Lin waved his Jin fan, his energy condensed into a black spear, smashing the iron chain to counterattack the old man. At the same time, the soul sail summoned 100,000 souls, forming a huge hurricane that swept through the soul refining sect. At this moment, an old voice came from the blood ring, "Little brother, the old man has been waiting for you for a long time." In the blood ring, a figure wearing a long blue robe with hair and waist slowly appeared. He walked calmly, his clothes were wide, and he looked very imposing when he moved with him. This person's complexion is gray and looks old, but his eyes are as bright as the moon. He glanced at Wang Lin, waved his hand, and the 9 monks of the incarnation respectfully retreated, disappearing without a trace in an instant. Wang Lin's eyes flashed, and the war spirit ignited in his heart. Although he couldn't see through the cultivation base of the old man, he was convinced that the other party was a strong man in the infancy. The old man said, "Xing Niu, little brother, the old man has been waiting for this day for 2 years." His eyes were strange, and he obviously knew Wang Lin's identity long ago. Then he turned and pointed to the soul refining peak. his tone suddenly changed, and his murderous intent was awe-inspiring. Junior Lu Mei, within 10 breaths, get out of the soul refining sect for thousands of miles, otherwise the old man will kill him. On the soul refining peak, Lu Mei showed a clear expression on her face, trying to persuade each other politely on the grounds of the teacher's order, but the old man responded coldly, and the countdown gradually approached. At 4 breaths, he summoned the illusory 3-zhang soul streamer, and his coercion increased sharply. Lu Mei's expression changed drastically, and she exclaimed, "A billion soul streamers." In the end, he didn't dare to stay any more and left quickly. The old man turned to look at Wang Lin and said with a smile, "Brother Xingniu, how about this thin gift?" Wang Lin was vigilant in his heart, but he also understood that the old man's move was intended to show that the break between the soul refining sect and the Suzaku kingdom was all due to himself, and this thin gift was actually profound. The old man smiled calmly, indicating that he was not afraid of Suzaku kingdom. Then the conversation turned and a second gift was given. He oppressed Wang Lin with a powerful spiritual power and helped his primordial god restore his power. One wave was stronger than another, until the old man mobilized his immortal power, and the fragments of primordial god in Wang Lin's body quickly merged, and his cultivation level was restored to the middle stage of deification, and even further. Wang Lin thanked the old man with a fist, but the old man smiled and said, "It's too early to thank me now." He proposed a third gift, wishing Wang Lin Xiuwei a breakthrough to the peak of the late stage of transformation. The old man summoned a billion soul streamers, the supreme treasure of the soul refining sect, and explained that this is the root of the soul refining sect, which contains the souls of countless infant monks. That he ordered Wang Lin to sit cross-legged, surrounded by 10 purple gold souls, injecting a steady stream of rich spiritual power into Wang Lin's body. Spiritual power skyrocketed at an alarming rate, until it was 8 times as much, and it still hasn't stopped. The old man's eyes were deep, and his voice was low. "Xingniu, remember the old man's name, escape the sky, you can suck as much as you can." Wang Lin was immersed in the skyrocketing spiritual power, and the word escape from heaven suddenly came to his ears. His eyes were slightly condensed, but he had no time to think carefully, engrossed in the flow of spiritual power in his body. Among the 10 purple gold souls, majestic spiritual power poured into his meridians frantically, swimming all over his body. That he only felt that his pores were full, and the turbid air in his body was quickly forced out, and his whole body was as comfortable as a spring breeze. After a while, Wang Lin realized that the spiritual power in his body had reached saturation and could no longer be absorbed. Although the cultivation base is still stuck in the artistic conception of the mid-stage of the incarnation, the spiritual power has broken through to the late stage of the incarnation and has become a great psychic, with the power of strong artistic conception. His strength is better than in the past. If he encounters the red butterfly again, there will be no suspense about the outcome. Wang Lin's eyes were deep, and he glanced at the purple gold soul around him. This time, the ancestor of Dun Tian smiled heartily and said, "Little brother Xingniu, are you still satisfied with this third gift?" Wang Lin was silent for a moment, knowing that the gift from heaven was by no means without cause, but since he accepted the gift, he would not regret it. That he asked calmly, "Senior, I can suck as much as I can, right?" Chu Tian nodded heroically. Wang Lin closed his eyes and meditated on the deity from the bottom of his heart. The deity, who was far away from the place where Chu moved first, opened his eyes instantly, and the purple star dot in the center of his eyebrows rotated. Although there is no distinction between the deity and the clone, the deity's ability to absorb spiritual power far exceeds the clone's ability to practice ancient divine tactics. Through the strange connection, the majestic spiritual power uses the clone as a transit and rushes frantically to the deity, while the deity absorbs spiritual power. The body exudes golden light and finally forms a huge crystal jade chain that wraps the whole body, and the star points in the center of the eyebrows increase accordingly. The Zijin soul around the clone was drawn by powerful suction, and the Zijin light suddenly became several times thicker, and the spiritual power surged like a tide. Upon seeing this, Dun Tian's face changed drastically, and his heart ached, but he was helpless in his previous arrogance and had to sigh. In a short time, the spiritual power of 10 purple gold souls was completely exhausted. Chu Tian sighed secretly. Wang Lin's clone and the deity joined forces to absorb it, which was really extraordinary. The cultivation level of the deity in Yujin steadily improved, and Wang Lin, The clone opened his eyes in time and stopped absorbing. Chu Tian was relieved. Waved the banner, and retracted Zijin's soul. He looked at Wang Lin with a wry smile. Brother Zhengmiao, you are really welcome. Wang Lin got up, felt the huge spiritual power in his body, and looked at Shuyu country with a cold flash in his eyes. He has an extreme personality and has always been vindictive, but at this moment he already has a concern in his heart. Wang Lin turned around, raised his fist to the sky, and said solemnly, "Thank you for the 3-point gift of the senior. If there is anything wrong, just tell me, the junior will do his best to help." When Chu Tian heard this, he was relieved in his heart, smiled slightly, and said with emotion, "The old man gave you 3 gifts, and he has done a great deal. Originally, if you didn't come to the soul refining sect, I planned to find you in person." Wang Lin's eyes flashed, and he smiled. The younger generation heard the rumors that I killed a monk of the soul refining sect, so the senior wants to ask me for guilt. Chu Tian shook his head and said with a smile, "That's just a statement to hide people's eyes and ears. If you look for you for no reason, it will inevitably attract attention, so it is reasonable to let out the wind." Then the conversation turned around and Suzaku's new pattern was mentioned. He said slowly, "Little brother Zhengmiao, do you know why the Suzaku kingdom has ruled Suzaku Star for countless years, but there are less than 10 5th-level cultivators?" Chu Tian asked and answered himself, and explained, "Back then, the Suzaku kingdom was composed of 6 sects, and the core disciples of the 6 sects formed their own country, becoming the earliest 5-level cultivation country. However, whenever a level 5 cultivator kingdom is close to breaking through to level 6, it will be suppressed by the Suzaku kingdom and will never be allowed to surpass it. The soul refining sect's 3 close breakthroughs were all destroyed, and now it has become a sect in the realm of Wu." Chu Tian sighed, looking back on the glory and decline of the soul refining sect, and bluntly stated that it is the dream of the soul refining sect of all ages to become a 6th-level cultivation country. However, due to the weakening of the Suzaku kingdom, he was worried that the 5th-level cultivator kingdom was anti-customer oriented, and he never allowed any country to be promoted. Wang Lin was silent for a moment and asked, "What does what the seniors say have to do with the juniors? The younger generation is just a monk in the incarnation period." Chu Tian's eyes were solemn, and he said slowly, "It matters, because you are one of the 4 Suzaku heirs selected by the Skylark." Wang Lin frowned slightly. When he heard Yongquazi's stage name, he took out a wood carving from the sky. It was carved by Wang Lin for the old man in the straw hat. Chu Tian explained that Yongqui was Suzaku's younger brother, and Wang Lin was paid attention to because of him. Wang Lin looked weird and asked, "Is it because of him that you gave me 3 big gifts?" Dun Tian replied, "It's just part of it." His eyes are deep, and he seems to have other hidden feelings. Chu Tian admitted that even if the lark passed on his thoughts, if he didn't like it, he could expel Lu Mei without having to offer follow-up gifts. He further mentioned that in the history of the soul refining sect, there were 36 reincarnated monks, and their souls were sealed in the soul streamers, and he was the 37th, the elder brother of Dun Tian, the 36th monk to become a monk. Died 2 years ago due to the exhaustion of Shouyuan, but he exhausted Shouyuan before his death, looking for a future path for the sect with the precognitive artistic conception, but failed. However, at the moment of his elder brother's death, Wang Lin happened to appear outside the mountain gate of the soul refining sect. This coincidence made Dun Tian choose to bet on everything. Chu Tian confessed, "My longevity is approaching, and there is no successor to the soul refining sect. If I die, the sect will be completely destroyed, and the soul streamer will fall into Suzaku's hands. I hope you will worship in the soul refining sect, become the next successor, and promise to keep you safe within 10 years. Although Wang Lin had doubts, he finally agreed to do his best. Chu Tian handed over the core technique of soul refining sect to Wang Lin, and declared him the only core disciple of the sect. After preparing for the retreat to the sky, Wang Lin left the soul refining sect and embarked on his own journey. After Wang Lin left, he galloped in the night, not fully believing in Chu Tian's words in his heart. He decided to use time to verify the promise of escape from heaven, and at the same time a flame of revenge ignited in his heart. The sniper attack 2 years ago almost killed him. After this cultivation was restored, his primary goal was Li Yuanfeng of Shuyu Kingdom. A month later, Wang Lin came to the valley in the territory of Chu and reunited with his old friends Zhou Ru, Tai Yan, and Xiao Bai. Zhou Ru was innocent and welcomed Wang Lin with joy, while Tai Yan was close to the god of transformation because of his cultivation, and was instructed by Wang Lin to go to the capital of Chu to experience life. Wang Lin promised to take Zhou Ru away and find a big tiger for him as a pet. Then he put Zhou Ru and Xiao Bai into the pagoda, ready to move on. In the valley, Wang Lin summoned the deity to be born. The deity broke out of the cocoon from the ground, merged with the clone, and the real Wang Lin appeared, his own body refining, internal cultivation of the clone, forming a powerful coercion. The world changes color for I and the rain curtain. Wang Lin looked at the snowy country like a demon god, and his murderous intent was revealed that he vowed to avenge Li Yuanfeng, Sun Tai, the ancestor of the Troll clan, and others, and return strongly. Bound to liquidate the grievances of the year one by one. At this moment, the real Wang Lin, with endless determination and strength, embarked on the road of revenge and rise. Wang Lin's eyes flickered coldly, his right hand raised a little eyebrow, and the Tianhuzu slowly flew out. That he patted the storage bag and took out a piece of crystal the size of a fist that gleamed with green light. This was half of the Muling Tian inverse beads that he had snatched from the elder Suzaku mountain during the war with the red butterfly. Only Jinling and part of Muling can be completed. When the 5 elements are complete, you can recognize the Lord and your power will be fully released. This day is coming soon. Wang Lin pressed the Muling crystal to the Tianqiu bead, and the crystal was inhaled in an instant, and the leaf lines on the Tianqiu bead bloomed strangely, and finally reached perfection. That he whispered to himself. It's just Jinling. Turning his gaze in the direction of Shuiyu country, he said coldly, Li Yuanfeng, I am Wang Lin. Then he put away the Tianhuzu, jumped on the top of Lei Frog's head, and said with a smile, Old man, let's go. Reva cheered and rose into the air, and the ground suddenly cracked. Wang Lin summoned the mosquito beast to play with Leva. During the confrontation between the two beasts, he sat on Leva's back, the corners of his mouth slightly raised, but his eyes looked at Shuiyu country coldly. The former turquoise snowy country has now become a snowfield, dazzling under the sun. After the Shuiyu kingdom was promoted to the 5th level, it became more prosperous. The Ice and Snow Temple is the most sacred place in the country. The infant monk Li Yuanfeng retreats here all year round. Due to forcibly breaking through to the infantile stage, his cultivation base was unstable. 2 years ago, he was injured by Sun Taxianlai and his recovery from his injuries was slow. He repeatedly asked Suzaku Mountain Red Butterfly for fairy jade to heal his injuries, but he was repeatedly rejected, and resentment grew in his heart. That he forcibly suppressed his injuries for 2 years and is expected to fully recover in a year. On the border of Shuiyu country, a young man in white walked slowly, with memories in his eyes. That he sighed softly, and the figure of the 4-faction alliance disappeared instantly. On the streets of Kyoto, Wang Lin looked at the familiar scene, and the 3 generations of Denyo's father and son appeared in his mind. His eyes were full of melancholy, and he turned and left. In the Ice and Snow Temple, Li Yuanfeng was meditating, suddenly opened his eyes, the golden light flickered, and looked out of the temple. And the howling cold wind, an illusory figure gradually solidified, showing the figure of Wang Lin. His expression was cold, and his eyes calmly looked at Li Yuanfeng, who was shocked in the hall. Li Yuanfeng couldn't believe the rapid improvement of Wang Lin's cultivation base, and he was shocked by the state of the late stage of transformation. 3 afterimages appeared quickly, and 3 elderly people stood in the way between Li Yuanfeng and Wang Lin, and shouted sharply, Be bold, dare to break into the Ice and Snow Temple. Wang Lin took a cold step forward, the ground cracked and spread, half of the hall collapsed, and the 3 old men were shaken back. One of them exclaimed, Could it be that you have reached the stage where you can't become a baby? Wang Lin ignored it and went straight to Li Yuanfeng. The 3 of them tried to stop them, and Wang Lin killed one of them with a punch, and all the spirits were destroyed. The remaining 2 stopped in horror. Wang Lin continued to approach Li Yuanfeng, and the opponent pinched and controlled 8 pieces of giant ice protection. Wang Lin snorted coldly and smashed the ice with a punch, the impact of which caused the Ice and Snow Temple to completely collapse. Li Yuanfeng floated into the air and shouted angrily, Xingniu, you are dead today. Wang Lin calmly responded, Today I want to refine your soul with you. Li Yuanfeng used a seal attack. Wang Lin waved his fist to meet the attack. The seal collapsed. Li Yuanfeng was shaken back 10 feet, Wang Lin only took 3 steps back, and the ground cracked. The two fought, alerting the monks of Shuyu Kingdom. The 17 monks of the Incarnation quickly arrived, offering magic weapons one after another to help in the battle. Wang Lin coldly spit out a word, "Get out." The wrath of the ancient gods broke out, the sound was earth-shattering, cracks in the space appeared, the earth was torn apart, and the monks of the gods sprayed blood and retreated, frightened and afraid to fight again. The power of one word shocked the audience. Wang Lin took a deep breath, and the clone merged with the deity and mutated. He was not only a 3-star ancient god who mastered the artistic conception of life and death, but also a great psychic monk in the late stage of the Incarnation. Li Yuan's complexion was ugly, and he finally regarded Wang Lin as a real opponent in his heart. The opponent's power of one word was no weaker than that of the infant monk. Li Yuanfeng took a deep breath and said solemnly, "Zheng Niu, the battle between you and me, don't spread to others, you stand down, withdraw thousands of miles away, and you are not allowed to enter." When the monks of Shuyu Kingdom heard the words, they faded one after another, and the aura of the coming time had already dissipated, replaced by a deep fear of Wang Lin. As soon as Wang Lin's figure moved, he stepped into the air instantly, forcing Li Yuanfeng directly, and shouted coldly, "Li Yuanfeng, what happened 2 years ago, today you and I are done." The sound of breaking through the sky was deafening. Li Yuanfeng's face was gloomy, he quickly backed away, and took out a black leather snare drum. The sound of the drum was as weird as a heartbeat, and it actually caused Wang Lin's heart to beat. However, Wang Lin looked as usual, and his right fist slammed down, smashing the snare drum to pieces. Li Yuan's complexion changed, he squeezed his hands together when he stepped back, spit out a golden light in his mouth, and turned into a 10-foot-tall ice and snow giant. That he introduced the giant into the body and manipulated the giant to launch a violent attack on Wang Lin. Wang Lin's gaze narrowed and he recognized that the giant was similar to the red butterflies in Xiaobao, but slightly smaller in size. That he burst out with a loud laugh, and the ancient god's body broke out, facing up, and fought fiercely with the ice and snow giant. His fists intersected, and the huge impact shattered the earth, and the cracks in the sky became denser and denser. With the strength of the 3-star ancient god, Wang Lin's body was unscathed, but the giant gradually cracked and retreated step by step. In the end, Wang Lin smashed the giant's chest with a punch, and the giant completely collapsed. Li Yuanfeng flew out of it, spitting blood, his face pale. He roared, "If it weren't for the old man's injury, how could you be so humiliated? If you fight today, I will kill you if you fall into cultivation." Li Yuanfeng mobilized immortal power, and his whole body's artistic conception turned into crystal-clear tea leaves, exuding a strange aroma. This is the sign of the infant transformation monk, the materialization of artistic conception. Wang Lin's heart moved, realizing that this battle was not only revenge, but also to accumulate experience for himself to break through the infancy period. He took a deep breath, and the ancient god Yuanshan spread out, communicating with the heavens and the earth, tearing apart the sky set by Li Yuan. And a huge scroll of life and death suddenly appeared, covering most of the sky. The ancient god's heart point in the center of Wang Lin's eyebrows appeared, and as he turned, a huge divine figure condensed behind him. The divine shadow grasped the axis of reincarnation of life and death, spread its arms horizontally, released its gray aura, turned into a translucent phantom, and rushed straight towards Li Yuanfeng. Li Yuanfeng yelled, and the seal rotated and tried to resist, but the gray phantom instantly destroyed the seal, and the artistic conception of tea collapsed and came to naught. Wang Lin Yuanshan felt weak for a while, and the axis of reincarnation of life and death and the huge divine shadow gradually dissipated. Li Yuanfeng spouted blood, his face pale, but he was still unwilling. He roared, "You are not in the late stage of transformation, your artistic conception has actually reached a baby. Change." Then he forcibly mobilized the immortal power, took out the crystals of the immortal power, and the pressure on his body suddenly increased. Wang Lin's expression was cold, he took out the soul streamer and the forbidden streamer, and the black mist enveloped his whole body. Li Yuanfeng pinched his hands, condensed a puck containing immortal power, and suddenly blasted at Wang Lin. The power of the puck was amazing, And the soul streamer and the forbidden weapon were instantly destroyed. Wang Lin rushed out of the black mist and resisted the ice hockey with the body of the ancient god. Although he felt a chill, he was unscathed. This battle made Wang Lin full of expectations for the infant transformation period. He realized that if he could control the immortal power, the power of the soul streamer, the forbidden streamer, and the immortal sword would all be greatly increased. However, Li Yuanfeng's Xianli was overdrawn and his body trembled, which was obviously difficult to last. That he smiled grimly and roared, "Zheng Niu, suffer death." The puck came again. The moment Wang Lin retreated, the puck controlled by Li Yuanfeng hit one after another with a violent whistling sound. Wang Lin waved his fists to resist, but the number of ice hockey balls was large, and the impact force was superimposed, forming an earth-shattering roar that shattered the land of Shuyu country. Li Yuan's expression was hideous, and he shouted angrily, "Zheng Niu, die!" Under the bombardment, Wang Lin fell to the ground like a meteor, smashing a deep pit, and green smoke emerged from the pit. Wang Lin's icy words came from the deep pit, "The magical power of the infant transformation is really extraordinary, but it's a pity that the immortal power in your life is too rare." Wang Lin slowly rose from the deep pit. Although his clothes were damaged, his eyes were as bright as stars. Li Yuanfeng's expression was gloomy, and he suddenly sacrificed a pair of bronze bells, spurting blood to urge him. Two dry arms stretched out between the cracks of the bronze bells, and the black mist billowed, turning into two black shadows and rushing straight at Wang Lin. However, Wang Lin at this time was no longer the same as before, and he had no fear after merging with the deity. He snorted coldly and waved his fist to disperse the black mist figure, revealing his broken arm. Immediately, Wang Lin used the spiritual power chain to seal the broken arm with the forbidden streamer and the soul streamer, and suppressed it with a bell. Upon seeing this, Li Yuanfeng turned pale and wanted to escape, but was stopped by Wang Lin at the speed of the ancient god's body. After several punches, Li Yuanfeng vomited blood and fell to the ground and smashed a huge pit. In despair, Li Yuanfeng tried to expose himself during the infancy and died with Wang Lin. However, Wang Lin calmly said, "If you can't hurt me, you will only let Shuyu country be buried with you." Li Yuanfeng struggled for a moment, and finally gave up self-exposure, confessed with a tragic smile, and was willing to die. Wang Lin responded indifferently, took away his soul with the technique of soul pumping, and sealed it in the storage bag. A generation of heroes. Li Yuanfeng fell. Then Wang Lin put away his broken arm and flew into the air, and his divine knowledge spread to all directions. "From today on, there must be no monks above the gods in Shuyu kingdom, nor must there be any cultivation sects to survive, otherwise I will come again." He used his artistic conception to seal the Shuyu Guohua god monk, causing his cultivation level to plummet, leaving a mark of life and death on his forehead. After everything was done, Wang Lin left in a mosquito beast, his figure gradually disappearing into the sky. After this war, Zheng Niu's name resounded throughout Suzaku Xing, and he was hailed as the first person under the infantile transformation period, and some people even rumored that he had entered the infantile transformation period. He killed Li Yuanfeng with his own power, sealed the monks of Shuyu kingdom, and abruptly suppressed the 5th-level cultivation kingdom into a 3rd-level cultivation kingdom, shocking the entire cultivation realm. At the same time, in the hutong of a small town in a 3rd-level cultivation country, a sloppy old man said to the people next to him, "Zheng Niu is really extraordinary, even the infant monks can be beheaded. You should also go to meet that Lu Mei and see what level his 1,000 illusions have reached." The man nodded respectfully, looking in the direction of Shuyu country, with memories and melancholy in his eyes. The old man whispered to himself, "Suzaku, there are still 12 years left in the gambling fight between the old man and you. At that time, I will punish myself for 1,000 years of misfortune." After speaking, he disappeared without a trace. Mentioning that the purple heart was thrown into the space crack, the old man decided to save each other because he was an important part of the forward Dao Xing rift. In the forbidden land behind Suzaku Mountain, the striker crushed the voice-transmitting Yujian and whispered, "Zheng Niu's killing of Li Yuanfeng is nothing. If he can kill the ancestor of the troll clan, he is barely qualified to be my opponent." Behind him, the red butterfly's eyes were empty and godless, and the forward Xie smiled and said, "Unfeeling, but you still want to fight Zheng Niu? This is your greatest wish before the death of the primordial god." On Suzaku Star, rumors of a battle between Zhengnyo and Shuyu Kingdom spread widely. However, at this time Zhengnyo disappeared mysteriously again. After Wang Lin left Shuyu Kingdom, he quickly found a quiet place and entered the sky inverse space with a broken arm that he stood under Situ Nan's huge yuaning, untied the seal of the broken arm, floated up with the broken arm, and wandered around yuaning. Wang Lin's eyes were solemn, and he was convinced in his heart that these two broken arms were the physical bodies of Situ Nan. Back then, yuaning trembled for the first time, and the golden light was shining all over, enveloping the broken arm. Finally, the broken arm merged into Yuan Ying's body. Situ Nan's yuaning gradually condensed, but he had not yet awakened. Wang Lin recalled what Situ Nan had said in the past, thinking that only when he reached the infantile stage could he help him recover, and this may be related to Xianli. He turned to his parents' souls, whispering with reluctance, but failed to send them into reincarnation, and finally sighed and left the heavenly inverse space. After coming out, Wang Lin pondered the source of the broken arm, speculating that there might still be Situ Nan's broken body on Suzaku Star. He recalled the information probed in Li Yuanfeng's soul and confirmed that Li Yuanfeng had accidentally broken his arm, but there were no more clues. Wang Lin set his sights in the direction of the Troll clan, determined to retrieve the immortal sword. The ancestor of the Troll clan is different from Li Yuanfeng. He has achieved infant transformation based on his own cultivation base. He seems to have a connection with the ancient gods, and his fighting style is extremely fierce. Wang Lin knew that the outcome of the battle with the ancestor of the troll was unpredictable, especially the opponent's talent and supernatural powers. Even Sun Tai in the middle of the infancy was jealous, but if you don't fight, it may be more difficult to kill this person in the future. After weighing the pros and cons, Wang Lin finally stepped into the ancient teleportation array, activated the formation, and teleported to the Pairu Kingdom in the northern part of the Suzaku continent. After appearing, Wang Lin went straight to the sect of Soul Refining Sect. The three peaks pierced into the sky like a sharp blade. He passed through the formation and faced the 9 golden auras. A middle-aged man appeared and respectfully called Wang Lin the young master. When Wang Lin learned of the retreat of the ancestor of Escape from Heaven, he deliberately left a storage bag and handed it to him. After taking the storage bag, Wang Lin found that there was a jade sword and a soul streamer in it. Yu Jin recorded detailed information about the talents and supernatural powers of the Troll clan, while the soul streamer is the supreme soul streamer of the Soul Refining Sect. It has 1/3 of the power of the main streamer, but it can only be used twice. Wang Lin was grateful, bowed deeply to the place of retreat from the sky and left at the top of the Soul Refining Sect. He sacrificed the soul streamer. The purple gold light was dazzling, the flag was windless and automatic, and the roar of ghosts and wolves was terrifying. The moment he held the soul streamer, Wang Lin felt the impact of countless souls, almost unbearable. He quickly operated the method of locking the gods passed down from the sky, successfully controlled the soul streamer, and obtained the blessing of 12 purple gold souls. At this moment, Wang Lin held the soul streamer in his hand, his eyes firm. He knew that the battle he was about to face was extremely dangerous, but in order to regain the immortal sword, he had no retreat.